Hello everyone, in this video we're going to be seeing about this budget tracker template. This template is available for free in Notion template marketplace. You can get it from there. The link for the template will be given in the description below. You can get it from there. So let's see about this template. So first we have the budget mixes, then the entries, a place where you can see all the entries, list of entries that you have seen or list of entries that you have added. These are called the transactions. And after that you have the different budgets there that you have added. And here, this is a new concept called a budget mix. So budget mix is nothing but an allocation container for how much of each of the transactions will be allocated to each of the budgets. So I'll be explaining that a while later. So for now, we'll be having the entries here. So in this entries, we have all of the entries that will be added. So if we add an income, you can see it's going to be showing up a new page. You can add a name for it. So for example, you can just add new income and the type will be automatically selected. And after that, you can enter the amount here. Say for example, 50,000, and after that you can select the budget mix. So you can actually select what are the budget mixes. For example, there are several budget mixes that is already existing, for example winter, summer, etc. So for now we'll not be seeing into budget mix too much, we'll be just over seeing how it is. So you can select the budget mix here. Then after that, when you click outside, you can see that it is added in the new income here. So you can see that it is added in the last page. This is sorted in ascending order, which means you will see the first transactions in the latest day, and this is actually being sorted by today. This is not the date that is added, so I'll just edit something here. So in the grouping, as you can see, it is using the time property here, and time property by default shows us the created time. So this is not the time that is displayed, the time is going to be something else. So we'll group the thing by manual time. So actually the thing is uh, here in the transaction you can actually toggle between whether you want to show the manual time or not. So if you show the manual time, it will be showing the manual time. As you can see, it's going below to Jan 2026 because manual time entered is Jan 21, but the created time of this page is only March 18th. So it is showing today here. You can either toggle this like that, or you can decide to edit the time property here. So if you click at the time property here, instead of this one, you can enter something like check if manual time is empty or not. So we use dot empty property. So if it is empty, then you take the created time of the transaction. Otherwise, you just return the manual time. So if you, now, as you can see, it is displaying the transactions properly, and you can see the income here is shown as today, and after that you have Jan 26, September 26. So these are the transactions that is sorted based on the time that is added, the manual time that is being added. So now as you can see, the income that you have added recently, or I just added here is shown here. It's new income, so I just added that. And as you can see, it is showing plus 200%, 100%, and 50% for new budget. These are different budgets in the budget mix that we have selected. So we have to see what the budget mix is. I'll just explain that in a while. So let's just see how this template is. So then after that, we have the active budgets. So these are the budgets that is there. So you can also rename this to budget, so it's much more clear. So it's active budgets. That is about the template. So that is the main dashboard of the template. And after that, we have subpages like all income and expenses, one place where you can see all the expenses that is there here. So you can see all the incomes in one place and all the expenses here. And it's also grouped by date so that you can see that in the previous month or what are the transactions that has happened in the previous days. And after that, you have manage budgets. So this is the place where you can see and manage your budgets. So this is not called budget mix, this is budgets. So we'll be seeing budget mixes in a separate thing. Here we have goals and limits. Goals is nothing but your income budgets. For example, you want to get so much of amount in so much of time period. So you have those kind of budgets. That is called the goals or income budgets. And you have limit budgets, which means a limit on expenditure. So you have some limits on how much you need to expend for the month. So those are called limit budgets. So these are two kind of budgets that you are having. And after that, you have manage budget mixes. So this is the dashboard page, and after that you have manage budget mixes. So I'll just give a brief overview of what this is about. So budget mix is nothing but how much of each of the budget or how much of each of the transactions that you are having is going to be allocated to each of the budgets in the budget mix. That is about that. That is like a container where it will have a group of budgets, and any transaction that is allocated to one of the budget mixes will be allocated to the budget that is inside that budget mix in a specified ratio. That is what a budget mix is, and that is what we'll be managing in this page. So here, as you can see, there is this ratio validator. This is straightforward. So if you just see, this is the income ratios. So if you see, it is income apportionment ratio. So in the template, I've also kind of created, given the description for that. So you can just read that and you can understand what it is. So for income and expenses, we're having separate ratios. So you can edit that here. So that is about the budget mix. So I've also created a ratio validator formal property, which basically checks if the text that you have written in this ratio is valid or not. Because this property here is not a specific like ratio property. This is just a normal text property. So you have to validate whether the numbers that is written or the text that is written in this property is actually valid to be considered as ratios. So if you just check here, so there are several validations that are checked. So that is done by the ratio validator property. So let's check. Let's just try changing this numbers and let's see what happens. So if we change that to 1%, as you can see, it is showing some error. The error is income does not add up to 100% because the last one it is only 1% and there is remaining 9% that is left. So we have to change that. So we have to change that to 10%. As you can see, it is showing 10%, and now all of these add up to 100%, so it's not showing any errors. So now let's check the next condition, which is going to be separated by commas. So if we don't have commas, what happens is it adds all of the values here, and as you can see, it is showing, it is adding 1510, and it is adding all of that, and it is doing some calculation, so it is showing some error that this ratios is not correct. So you need to add this comma here. So once you add this comma, there is the error is gone, and you have proper ratio that is displayed. And yeah, that is about that. So you can check what is the ratios here. So as you're changing, you can see how much. So if in this text property, you can only see the number here. You don't know how much is going for which budget in the mix. So you can check that above here. So you can see there is these are incomes and expenses, or these are the budgets that are in this mix. So that is about the budget mix. So you can also go and check the budget mix page, and in the template you can just go there and see, and you can just change different values and see how the things are shown, and you can just try out different things that you want better understand how this thing works. So let's get into the template. So this is the dashboards of the budget tracker. So we have seen these are the main pages, and we have sub pages also. We have incomes and expenses, manage budgets, manage budget mixes. We have all of these pages, and we have the dashboard here. So that is about the budget tracker template. Hopefully you found this video helpful. Thank you for watching.